Hey everybody, welcome to Whip Finish Wednesday. I'm Katie and John's over there behind the vise. We're really excited about tonight. We've got a fun show, and first thing I'm going to do is draw a winner for last week's contest to see who was able to guess the secret fly. So let's draw our winner.
It was a super top secret fly. Really hard to guess. Now, how do people enter this time? So, because it'll be the it'll be the same way for the next show. We tell everyone how they entered.
Sure. So the way that we do our contest is here in the show, we're going to give you clues as to what we're going to tie next week. Normally it's next week, but actually next week we're going to be fishing at the beach. So it'll be the week after next. But anyway, we'll give you clues about what we're going to tie. And then as the show progresses, we'll give you more clues. And then when the show's over, in the comments section, you tell us what you think the fly is going to be on the next show. Then we'll take all the correct answers and the names of the people who gave us the correct answers, and we'll draw a name to be the winner.
And also, they can post the fly that we tied last week and use hashtag Whip Finish Wednesday on Instagram, and that gets their name and the hat as well.
That's right. Exactly. So the secret fly for this week was the October Caddis. So if you guessed October Caddis, well done. But our big winner that we just drew the name is Ken B. So congratulations, Ken B. You're the winner this week for the fly tying contest, fly guessing contest, and you're going to win one of the Umpqua tiny 12 boxes. And we'll send this to you if you'll send us your address. And inside of it, we had a whole bunch of flies for you. Some of the ones that we tied last week and a few others. So congratulations, Ken B. And stay tuned for clues for the next contest, which we will be announcing the winner of in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching tonight, guys.
All right. Well, thank you, Katie. And Keisha, I agree. The Sims waders are pretty sweet. Those are the ones that Katie has. And Jimmy, I hope you get to feeling better. That is for sure. And Freddie.
Okay, hold on. I do not have Sims waders.
You know which ones are? Oh, yours are the Orvis
Pro Waders, and they are awesome. I love them. If you haven't seen the Orvis Pro Waders for women, they're super great. The cool thing about them is the knees have this like reinforced kind of almost like it almost feels like you have knee pads on, but they're not that constraining. But it's awesome because like when you're climbing over a rock or you're brushing up against something, you know, that's sharp or a tree limb or whatever it is, you don't have to worry so much about tearing up your knees. And they fit great. The fit is really nice. They're super warm. I love them. Lots of good pockets. So if you haven't seen the Orvis Pro Waders for women, they're pretty cool. Now, I've heard the Sims waders are awesome too, so check those out as well. But the ones that I have that I can speak to are the Orvis Pro women's waders, and they're great.
All right. Well, Gary's a big Sims G3 fan. Michael Ragsdale, speaking of you, we're thinking about you today with that hurricane hitting over there in Florida. So it's I hope you stay somewhat dry, but most importantly, I hope you stay safe. Trout Freak, good to see you. And everyone on Instagram, everyone that's watching, if you can, hop over on YouTube. You'll get a much better user experience over on our YouTube channel. So, and Mr. Brashears has Orvis, so that's good. I've got like some Orvis ultralights that are like 7 or 8 years old, and it's time for me to get a new pair, but they just won't leak. And I know right when I get a new pair, I'm gonna sit on a cactus or something. So just can't break down and buy something new. Well, Michael, I'm glad that things are going well in Florida.
And I did have my mic plugged in, so if you couldn't hear me, you can hear me now.
Oh gosh, here we go. Oh, Langley's got the G4s. It was good seeing you at the football game this past weekend, Langley. So where are we going to tie tonight? We're going to tie
I hope the October Caddis.
The Elk Hair Caddis and October Caddis variation. And what's up, Treeman? Treeman.
Treeman.
What's up, Treeman? Okay, so we just finished filming a standalone video for the elk for this fly, so we'll probably release that at the beginning of the week next week once we get done with it. But so stay tuned for that to come out. But the October Caddis is not just a name that fishermen start calling caddis flies in the fall, but there are some pretty major differences, and I think it might have been Deb that commented on our post today and said that out west that they're huge, absolutely huge. And I believe out west you'll tie them in a size up to size 8, maybe even bigger than that. Here in East Tennessee, maybe a size 10, but 12s and 14s are pretty common, which is a lot bigger than what we're normally tying. In the spring, throwing a size 18 little black elk hair caddis is not uncommon. So today we're going to tie a size 12, and probably the biggest characteristics of the October Caddis is a color. We go with an oranges, anything from like a rusty color to big bright orange. So the color and the size are the two big things with these flies. And kick back and resting. JB fly fishing, headed to the Eastern Sierras to fish up. Oh boy, I'm jealous. That sounds good. And Jimmy, I don't know if I was thinking it. I hope you start feeling better soon. We briefly spoke about it a couple weeks ago, and I was just, you were excited about fishing our peanut envy, and I was bummed that you didn't get to go a couple days ago. I want to see this thing hanging out of a fly's mouth. Yeah, something like that. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started here. Hopefully we'll get through 2 of these, doing 2 different variations. So the first way we're going to tie the hair in.
Wait, hold up. Are we going to tell some materials for the mystery fly first?
No, I'm not, because since it's going to be 2 weeks, we'll say we're going to change the rules a little bit. But since there's going to be 2 weeks in the meantime, just comment anything on the video, comment suggestions on what you want us to tie. 2 weeks is a long time, and I really want to. I've got big news, everyone. Can I CR give us a drum roll, please?
I don't have that capability.
Well, that's why I said CR.
I can do a light that looks like a police car.
So when we tie people's flies, like actually someone who designed a fly, I really like to reach out to them and get permission to tie it. And this week we got permission from Kelly Gallup himself to tie his peanut envy, which is if you all tied it, relatively simple fly, but articulated fly, big fly, super fishy, super productive. And oh, Jimmy, I didn't know it was tomorrow. Well, at least you'll have YouTube. So, but the peanut envy is super fishy. And it's one that is a great one to doesn't matter how, it's like an elk hair caddis. It might be one of the first flies you learn to tie, but you'll keep on tying it no matter how good you get at tying, because it just works. So Kelly gave us permission to tie his peanut envy live. So we'll do that sometime soon. If you don't have one of his books, don't have them sitting out. They're phenomenal. The first one that was done in the late 90s or maybe early 2000, I've read 2 or 3 times, and it's like the Bible of streamer fishing. But start looking up that pattern so you can get some materials for that. Totally lost my train of thought though.
Yeah.
Woo.
So we're not doing it. We're not following the rules.
So we're not going to follow the rules. Use hashtag Whitfish Wednesday on your fly that you post between now and our next live, and comment something what you'd like to see. Comment a funny comment. As long as you comment something, we'll put your name in the hat for next time's. In 15 years, Ben.
So all you got to do is comment.
Yep.
That's
and
it.
You'll be in.
And you're in.
So. And Ben should live over there somewhat close to Kelly, somewhat. Compared to Tennessee, he lives like really close. So we've got a size 12 Arex Freshwater 501 in the vise right now. This bad boy right here. And we're going to use Semperfli Nano Silk in 12-aught, which is right here. And for the Instagram guys, I'll zoom us in just a pinch. So we've got the Semperfli 12-aught Nano Silk for you guys. And sorry, it's backwards. If you notice, as I was talking, I was using this this GSP wax. I don't use it all the time, but it is nice when I'm starting the thread just to grab the wax and just pull the thread through it, and it'll color it up just a little bit, but it gives it just a little bit more grip. So when I start the thread, I want it to be about a hook eye distance between where I'm starting to thread in the hook eye. Now I'll work our thread back. Start working back to the rear like this.
CR wants to know if you prep the Semperfli wax or just use as is.
So this is the Semperfli wax that's designed for GSP. So I don't do anything with it. As you can see, it's kind of, oops, sorry. If you can see, it's kind of, you can tell where I've scarred it up a little bit. I've been using this one for a couple of years or so. This, I would say you don't have to do anything with, but this is not just standard wax. This is a really, really, really hard wax because the formula is designed to be used with a GSP as opposed to, and Katie would give me a hard time because I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different waxes over in that one spot alone. So depending on the application, I'm not a lefty South Dakota fly fish. It's unfortunately we're backwards now on the Instagram. Sean, you need to hop over on the YouTube. See wax questions. Yep. Ben, we need to do a show about nothing but wax. For sure. Okay. So now we've got the thread back to the hook eye. So I've got a layer of thread there. Like I said, the wax will give it a little grip. And one of the reasons I want the grip is because I'm going to use, sorry, wrong one. I'm going to use a 0.1 millimeter tying wire, and this is in copper. So when you pull off, really most of the time, 0.1, so like extra small to small, easily those two. Sometimes the 0.3, but you don't need to cut it. Just pull it off. Just break it off with your hand. So now I'm going to hold let's go back to the camera one. So I'm going to hold the thread or the wire kind of an angle and just capture it on the side and then put a couple loose wraps and pull it to length and then work my thread back. Now I'm tying this in on the opposite side of the hook shank. Get all the way back to the back before the hook bend. And now I'm going to bring my thread back to the front. Now this being 50 denier, that's two layers of thread, or actually 4 layers of thread. 1, 2, then 1, 2. As you can see, there's virtually no bulk built up on the hook shank. So now for the dubbing, we're going to use, I'm going to use beaver dubbing on this. And remember with caddises, unlike mayflies, now this is not like a big fat attractor pattern. So when I say it's fat, like we're not making it huge, but like unlike a mayfly, it doesn't need a huge taper and it can be somewhat chunky. So I'm going to try to get a little bit thicker, tight dubbing rope. That way we can get a little bit chunkier body made.
And that's Rusty Spinner.
That is Rusty. That's right.
I feel like I've been doing the video editing on the one that we're gonna put on YouTube all day. I feel like I could tie this in my sleep.
Oh, honey, well, come on over. Careful. You'll get half or not half. You'll get 90% of the guys will be like, "Let's see it, Katie."
Like, do it. I can't do everything, guys.
No, then I'd be out of the job.
I mean, seriously. John would have to like color a picture of me doing it and like take a picture of it and put it with his phone and put it on Instagram. That would be how it would get through.
That's right. Okay. So if you notice, I still have a little bit of bare thread here, and that's what I want because I'm going to wrap back with that bare thread and have that dubbing start right at the rear. So I've got my first wrap in of dubbing now. Now I'm just going to bring it up, touching wraps. Sometimes they're overlapping, but I'm just kind of watching how the taper or lack of taper. I'm kind of watching how the body's being built. That should be good right there. A little much on there. Let's pull this off.
What's
And
this
we're ready to go.
volunteer caddis and volunteer rainbow warrior?
Well, I guess he's talking about like since it's orange.
Oh, like the Vols.
Go Vols.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Since we beat Florida, I mean.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Gotta be excited.
Got it.
You tracking now, honey?
Yes.
All right.
You just keep cranking that fly out, or whatever it is you and Gary said.
What's up, Pokeness? Good to see you hopping on Instagram.
I know, Truman. I know.
If you can, hop over on YouTube. We're hanging out over there as well, and we can see you a little bit better. Okay, so now as you can see, I'm just measuring my my hackle to see the length, and I've got a couple pulled already. I'm curious if I've got the right length, and I don't with those two. Like I sworn I had a
I thought
good
the
one.
first one looked okay.
Well, I'm not looking for okay, but we'll check it real quick. If you want to zoom, put us back in that other camera mode. See me searching through Hackle, trying to find the right size.
Frantically digging.
This is pretty frantic. So that one looks too whatever. Or you know what you could do while I'm doing this, honey?
No.
Especially since Ben's on here, you could open up that package.
Okay. Let's open a package.
Does anyone want to see? Oh, I think I found the perfect one.
I can't imagine.
So,
First
Kate,
of all, we don't have enough fly tying materials or anything.
now that is a birthday present for you, honey.
Oh.
So what?
It's hackle. Just what I always
Yeah,
wanted.
it's just what you wanted. More Hackle. Looking forward to it. I love it. You tell her.
It's a good wrapping job.
Hey, I've worked on that for quite a while.
Let's see. And who do you want to like be a little more detailed about where this is from?
So this is from Bear Grass Leather, and for anyone who is looking for gifts for either husbands, wives, anything, this is Bear Grass Leather is phenomenal.
Awesome.
What's up, Jeff? So we're looking at getting some other stuff, and he's like, well, let me just go and send this to you. So this is a present for Katie.
Check it out. I love it.
So handmade, and that's made in Montana, I believe. And if Ben's still on here,
That's awesome. Oh, check this one out.
and that was a little fishtail.
Love it. Look at the color on it too.
What's that on the back of it, or on the front of it?
It has the Bear Grass Leather logo.
Cool. That is neat. So happy
those
birthday,
are
Katie.
awesome. Thank you, Ben. Thanks, Bear Grass Leather. We love it. And if you guys haven't been to their website or their Instagram, check it out. They have awesome, awesome stuff.
They designed a purse for Katie. We got it a while
awesome
ago.
Leather purse. It was super cool. They have all kinds of stuff on there too. Man, all
Yes.
leather. So thank you. That's awesome. Yay!
All right. So we'll get back to tying this fly here. Thank you, Ben, for helping us out with that. So now I'm going to put a little more of this wax on here, because what I'm going to do now is tie this hackle feather in. And all I did is I stripped a little bit of the part on the stem. And if you notice, I was measuring with my gauge, and then I was holding it up like so. You can see how far down it went. And so I was double checking the length of it. I like for it to go just slightly past the hook point. I don't need to be too awful long. John E., this is GSP Wax from Semperfly. This is designed for nano silk or GSP threads. And there's a bunch of other waxes that we use, but for the nano silk, the Semperfli nano silk or GSP wax is phenomenal. So to tie this in, I'm going to cord up my thread just a bit to give it a little more bite. I'm going to hold the stem at an angle here and capture it with one wrap. And then we'll bring it around and capture it with another wrap. And now I'm going to put 2 wraps in and pull really tight. Now we can kind of trim that stem off just a touch. And let's just fold that stem under to make sure it's not going anywhere. Okay, so now we got the hackle stem tied in. And now it's as simple as we're going to wrap. You see how we've got, that's one full wrap here. Now we'll bring it down. And now I'm going to start bringing it around at an angle. So I just palmer it back. And this is the personal preference part. I personally don't like super dense hackle on my Elk Hair Caddises. But on the other hand, I also don't like super thin hackle. I like just the right amount of hackle. All right, so that's right. So we've got the hackle tied in. And to capture, I'm going to grab the wire that I tied in that's on the opposite side of the hook shank. I'm going to bring it around. And I'm capturing it on the dubbing. So I'm capturing the hackle stem with the wire, see, on top of the dubbing. I don't work the hackle all the way to the bare shank. And now the key is pretend like you don't have hackle. And just work your way through with even wraps back up the hook shank. And if you literally pretend like you don't have hackle, trap a lot less than trying to work it through and acting like you're going to save and not capture any fibers at all. So one thing I like to do is grab grab everything, including the thread. Put a couple wraps there, pull tight, and that just gives me a little extra security on the wire. So now we've got the hackle tied in, and we're looking good. We'll trim this off right there. All right. Thank you, Pokeness. I appreciate that. And Ronin 56. Thank you. So I'm going to use this the Semper Flash crystal copper. I'm just going to get one.
Spelled with A.
That's right. I'm going to get one piece off. Sure. Yep. And depending on the size, like I said, this is size 12. For me, this is really big. And I'll just kind of work out the fibers a little bit. But I want 8 total pieces for my underwing. So I've got one piece. I cut it in half. I've got 2 pieces. Line up tips again. And I cut it in half one more time. So I've got 4 pieces. We got 4 pieces of this crystal flash here. Big fan of crystal. Yep. It's good stuff. So I'm going to, just like we last week when we did the parachute post, I'm just going to hold the crystal like this, pinch it all. Now I've got it right here. Shorten up my thread just a little bit, and we'll set it just behind the hook eye, and we'll capture it down, work our thread back. And before we get all the way back, we're going to let go and kind of adjust it so it's right where we want it. Now we'll bring it back, pull it tight. And now, as you can see, we've got a nice little underwing here, and we're good to go. To cut this off, pull it tight, bring my scissors right up against the hook bend, and I like to back it up just a little bit. So I've got an underwing like this. How many camera angles do you have? 4, Trout Freak. We've got 4 different ones right now. But unfortunately, Katie's the big driver when it comes to the seeing the comments, and my comment comes up and it goes away and I can't see it super long. So sorry about that. And that's why normally I should be talking to you guys right there. Instead, I'm looking right here, reading comments and stuff. So we're learning one show at a time. So this one we're going to do just kind of standard. And we're going to switch around to the camera 2 so we can show you how we're going to prep our elk hair. So one thing that I didn't know initially when I was tying elk hair caddises is you can tie an elk hair caddis no problem with deer hair. I mean, will that be called a deer hair caddis? They're like details. But in this case, because there's a bigger one, we are going to tie it with elk hair. What's up, Hopper? What's up, Juan Ramirez? Uncle Ken's best friend. Why don't y'all hop over on YouTube?
Oh my gosh. He hasn't stopped talking about his friend Juan Ramirez.
He has. Katie's Uncle Ken went fishing with Juan Ramirez last week. Is that right?
Yeah, we were like, Juan Ramirez? We know Juan Ramirez.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we've got our elk hair here, and we're going to take our scissors. And this is the way that I prep stuff. I like to cut everything as close as I can to the hide because that that allows me to have more real estate to work with on the hair itself. And I don't know why else. It just gives you more hair. So I take my scissors and I just kind of stick it in here and fold it forward. So all I'm doing is I'm basically parting the hair, and then I come up and I pinch it. So now I've got a nice little bundle pinched here, and I clip it off close to the hide. So you can see now we've got our little bundle here, like so. Oh, don't say like so, Katie. So here's our bundle. So now we're going to take it and we're just going to twist our 2 fingers together and open everything up. So for those of you on Instagram, we're just opening this up, and then we're going to take our comb and just comb it out. Now this stuff right here, and if we'll switch over to that one, you can see all this goop, all that really fine fur, and that's the under fur. There's broken tips, there's short pieces of elk hair, all sorts of stuff in here. This is what you want to get out of your stacker. Good morning from Oz. Ken B, is that who you drew, honey?
Yes, Ken B. You're the winner this week, Ken B. Congratulations for guessing October Caddis. We're going to send you something really cool. So if you can message us your address, we'll send you an awesome fly box from Uncle, the Mini 12, and some beautiful flies to go with it. Congratulations, Ken B. Glad you hopped on.
All right. So the main reason we want to get this out, and this is just one brush through here, is because the fur itself will soak up water and make the fly sink prematurely. But equally as important, when we're stacking this bundle here, all the junk in there kind of acts like Velcro and makes it where it doesn't stack very well. So we want to get this out. And this is probably, hello, Nan. This is probably Nan's favorite comb. I think you got this one, the CNF Designs comb. It works really well on grabbing the stuff, but you just want to comb it out so you don't get anything else in your comb, and then you're ready to go. So let's go back over to whichever camera right here. So for our stacker, you can see this is the Renzetti double-ended midge stacker. This is one I use most of the time. And this is pretty small when you compare it with a standard stacker or even a standard double-ended stacker. So here are the two that there's a bit the standard. These aren't Magnum sizes or anything, but if you can imagine, we're stacking in this one, and we put this hair down in here, and we stack it around, and we pull it out. I mean, that's stacked fine, nothing wrong with it, but it's got a lot more room to move around, and the fibers aren't quite as precisely lined up. So a smaller stacker, now you still want to have room for the fibers to freely move, but a smaller stacker is going to eliminate quite a bit of give, I guess. It's going to limit a lot of the play, because with the big stacker, your hairs are going all over the place, and a small stacker is going to keep them more upright, so you'll get a better stack. So my point is, use the smallest stacker that your hair will move in. So now we're stacked. I like to tap it on the side once or twice or half a dozen times. And what that's going to do is it's stacked this way right now. Tap on the side, kind of has the hairs roll around, so they're all kind of facing the same way. So, all right. So now we're going to pull this off. As you can see in the close up, we've got a nice little stack of hair. Pull it out. And now here comes the fun part. And this is the part that just takes practice. If you will you see how I'm pinching the hair right now. My pointer finger and thumb are two different measuring points. So you can't measure off your thumb, then cut on your pointer finger. I use my thumb and I just stick the fly where I put the hair on until my thumb hits the eye. And I'm like, well, it needs to be just a touch longer. So I move my hair around just a little bit. And that looks about right. So now right here's where I want to cut, right where my thumb is. Transition it again. We've got our stack here. Now with my scissors, I'm going to grab, let's go back to camera 2. I'm going to cut, and when I cut, I'm going to actually pull away just a touch. So when I cut, I'm going to cut quick and pull away. If I push, that pushes the fibers forward and I don't get as clean of a cut. And if I hold it still, as the serrations on the scissors grab the fibers, it still pushes it, slides it a little forward. And this is a very, very minor thing. But thanks, Michael, for buying the badge. Appreciate it. Looks like we'll be shipping to, I don't know, Australia or New Zealand maybe. So appreciate it. So now I'm going to cut this off. Just grab the bundle, pull the hair towards you. So as you can see, now we've got a nice straight cut. You can see the cut right here. And this is how we want it lined up. We want it lined up right with the eye. And I'm really overcomplicating this. My cheeks stay rosy. Try to touch the K-pot dubbing very fully. That is perfect, man. Just make sure you put more on there than we would normally put on, but that's perfect. Okay, so let's get a little orange marker. And we'll just take our bundle and we'll bring it like this. So I take it and I slide my fingers back until the cut ends lined up with the hook eye. And now I bring my thread up and down and just kind of capture it. So I've got one in there and I start to crease it just a little bit. I've got two and I'll pull tight. And that's it, guys. See how you can see that that head formed? The really nice thing about doing it this way is every single one of those fibers is the same length. It's a really nice tight head. I'm going to take my thread now, let go and kind of pull everything up. I'm going to go underneath the bundle, but over the hook eye, and put 2 or 3 wraps in here. That locks everything in. So now we've got a little bit of I need to move the camera up just a little bit, the close up.
The head's like a cush ball. Remember those?
Yeah.
Cush balls.
All right. So now we're going to whip finish this. Katie, can you move this one up just a touch? So here we go, resin. Okay, so now we're going to whip finish. If I can find my whip finish tool. See, I really wanted Katie to get up so she get up in front. There it is, right in front of me. And remember, I just hook it around the hook eye, and we'll do a regular old whip finish. Down around, pull it tight, and as you can see, there's a little bit of cleanup needed, but you see we got a really like a killer underbody. The hair goes almost right to the back of the hook bend. We can pull it down. I haven't really arranged this at all, but pull it down. If there's a fiber that's aggravating you too much, you can find your tweezers, which I can't find right now. Yet another thing that's gone. I'm sure Katie probably hid it from me.
Yeah.
That's what she does.
That's,
But
that's what I spend my time doing, hiding all your stuff. It has nothing to do with the fact that they can't see all the stuff that hasn't been put away properly.
well, relatively, I'm doing better.
You are relatively.
Okay, so we'll pretend like I pulled this off. The last step is just take a drop of the Sally Hansen's, just a drop, and put it right where we tied all that off. So what that's going to do is that's going to soak in to the thread, and it's going to soak into the bottoms of the cut at the butt ends of the elk hair as well. And that's going to be a really fishy, really nice fly that's ready to rock and roll. It's real floaty. You pull everything up. And the nice thing is you can manhandle this. This is a really pretty fly. I do this fly, but put 3mm body tooth behind the eyes. Oh, that's nice. Those are crazy if to Eastern Sierras. Cool. So the nice thing about this, like I said, this is not a artsy fly that's meant to like look gorgeous, but it does. I just love looking at the underside of it right here because it looks it looks amazing. It's super fishy, and it just plain works. So while Katie's just making some minor adjustments. Thank you, Michael. Thanks for that. And for anyone who's watching on Instagram, I hate to keep saying it, but come over to YouTube and watch us there. It's a little bit better to be able to see. It is a horrible caddis. It is. Well, that's Trout Freak. Will you hand me the blue box? So for next week, our next show, here's the box that's already built right here. So every single one, the fly we just tied is going to go in there. I've got 2 more here that we tied. It's one of them we tied live. The one we posted today. They're all going to be thrown in here. So you'll at least 1, 2, 3. I can't count. But you'll at least have 8 of these exact same flies in this Umpqua box. So there's 2 Umpqua boxes, the Tiny 12 that we're giving away today to Ken B, and what's this one called? The 8 compartment box. So for larger flies like stimulators and these caddises, this one works great to store your dries in, because if you take this fly that we just tied and you put it in a traditional foam or silicone box and it stays there for more than a week, that hackle we worked so hard on is going to get crushed and not look as good. There you are, Michael. Thank you. Thanks for hopping over here. But it's going to crush the hackle and make it not look real good if you leave it for an extended period of time in a silicone box. So that's why we like to store and take out to the river these little boxes, and they're not very expensive. But yes, Trout Freak, we'd love to get you some. If you win, you might win. Message after the show. Yes, you guys get that Gulf. I know I've had a lot of people asking me about those. So on this fly, we're going to do a little bit different. We're going to pull out the same freshwater, the same Arex freshwater 501 size 12. Big hook. I was wondering why I couldn't see the chat. Yes, Senior Chili Dog Enterprises. I'm sorry. And if you can believe it, Katie right now is managing, including the phone, 5 cameras. And it is really difficult to keep up with two chats, along with, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lights. And so we're definitely watching the YouTube quite a bit more. So like I said, we're going to take our 12-aught classic wax or nano silk, Silverfly nano silk. We'll wax it with a little bit of Gsp Wax. We'll bring the thread back to the rear. And the first part's going to be identical. Cut that off. And when you're cutting nano silk, I feel like I should say this. When you're cutting nano silk, hold it tight. If you just try to cut it, you're going to have a hard time. Put your scissors and just set them right on the hook shank and then push across and it cuts, no problem. Nano silk is phenomenal. It does not stretch. It's slick and it's super, super, super tough. So because I can't find my wire, I'll just pull off another piece. Make sure when you're pulling off wire, depending on how many you're going to tie, you pull off enough to tie. at least the one fly, but you want to have plenty of extra wire hanging out when you're tying. If you try to pull off the, close to what you need, it is such a pain to tie it in. That lasts a little bit. So same thing as before. Hold this at an angle, capture it with one wrap, put a couple more so we don't, kind of helps not pull it through. Pull that wire back to where the thread is, and then we're going to tie the wire in right here, and then we're going to thread back up. Leave our wire hanging, and we'll grab, just to make this a little bit, we're going to make this one pretty darn orange. So I'm going to do some orange and rusty spinner mix. Make this pretty bright. So I just grabbed 2 different colors of dubbing, and we'll just kind of card them together. Bring it like this. And this one's going to be quite a bit orangier. So now we'll start dubbing our thread again. And remember, the body can be chunky compared to mayfly. It doesn't need it doesn't need much of a taper at all, really, but it does need to be a little bit thicker body. And because it's an October caddis, it's going to be tied bigger in the size 12, and it's going to be orange. Real fancy. They didn't call it a Halloween caddis because it's not just on Halloween.
That's a size 12 Arex, right?
Yep, size 12 Arex freshwater 501.
Yes.
Here is
we
the
got a little
stuff
bit
right
of
here.
weather. Was it a couple nights ago?
Sunday night.
Something, maybe Saturday or Sunday. A little bit of weather, like high winds and stuff, blew some things over. That's about it. So I don't even know if that was part of the hurricane, because the hurricane was this.
The hurricane's hitting Michael right now. So I don't know.
I don't know, but I have heard that the weather towards this weekend is supposed to turn really nasty.
No, that's probably the hurricane.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our and I've got a little bit of taper in there, as you can see. And just because of the nature of this fly, I don't really need these guard hairs, so that's why I'm cutting them out. Because this would be great for like a, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't remember, something else. How about that? All right, now I've got to find the hackle that I was using on the last one. And that's not it, is it? It might be. We'll just say this is it. So to prep the feather, let's see if this one's going to be better. I don't know why I feel like if I whisper to the fly, it'll come out better.
It will.
That was a little bit long. I'm not going to make you all sit through me pulling another one off. No, it looks okay.
That's okay.
Okay, so we've got our hackle stem that's just been cut. I'm just going to pull off just a few of the fibers, not many. So we've got a little bit of bare hackle stem. I'm going to take my wax. Can't see wrong angle. That's better. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. And seriously, guys, if we got a wrong angle over something,
Well,
holler.
all you were doing is searching for hackle.
Oh, well, Gary, he's got to have the whole step, the play-by-play. Okay.
He was searching for hackle, Gary. The end.
So, and now I'm going to take this, cut that stem off like that, and then we'll fold that stem up, pull it tight. So now we've got our hackle locked in. It's looking nice and purty. And so when I'm tying this kind of fly in, what I like about this feather in for a caddis fly or hackle is like this. Do you see this little teeny tiny gap right here? So you'll have that whenever you wrap a hackle, whenever you tie a hackle in like this. So right now I don't have much area to tie in a hackle, and doing the X wrap allowed me to capture it in where it's not going anywhere. But I also have this little gap right here that's perfect for my second turn, because what I want to do is I'm going to bring my hackle down and up, and then that stem's going to go right in that slot now, down, and now I'm ready to start working my hackle to the rear. So now we come up and around, just like so. or as Katie likes me to say, like this. And now we'll bring it like that. Now we're going to bring our wire down, and the same thing as we did before, capture it between the stem and the dubbing. So now we'll bring the wire up and just kind of pretend like there's no hackle there. The quicker you do it, the better it'll look. And I'm going to capture it with 2 or 3 wraps. And I'm not worried about capturing any fibers. Pull back. Ouch. Hit with my finger.
Ow! Did you draw blood?
Maybe. Just a little pokey poke there.
Ow!
Little pokey poke. What's up, Jason? Fly Time Maniac. Hop over on YouTube. You can see better, and I'll actually see you if you chat. So I got that cut off. We're looking good so far. We can kind of dress this around, make it look pretty. And we're going to pull off one more of these copper Semper Flash crystal fibers. So copper crystal. Katie, is your chat working on your side?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I can't see it. So you'll just have to do like you always do and just take care of me.
What happened to it?
Well, it's not up. All right. So what I did just now is I folded it over, folded over, cut it, matched the ends up, folded over, cut it again. Let's get this back in here at a fiber that didn't want to play. So now I have 4 total fibers. Pull the little bubble up like this. Pull up tight. Right behind that hook eye. Work my thread back. Let it kind of spread out a little bit. Put a couple more wraps in. Pull tight. Now we're ready to go.
Yeah, you can get crazy with it, Michael.
All right.
Sure.
So when I cut that, I just put my scissors right up against the hook bend, pulled it out, and then I just kind of backed it out just a touch and cut the crystal flash. So as you can see, we've got a nice little underwing. It's going both sides of the hook, distributed pretty well. We're good to go. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and color up my thread, color up my head a little bit. Now this looks like a super bright orange, but really it's, as far as a marker, once we get on the white, it's kind of more of a, I don't know, it's the right color. This is not a big fluorescent orange.
It's more like a volunteer orange.
There you go. Thank you, honey.
Maybe a little darker than volunteer orange.
All right, so now we'll go back over to the camera too. We're going to be fancy with it. I said don't use the big stacker, but we're going to use it for a second. So I'm going to go with orange. If you wanted to use just the orange, you could, but I kind of feel like it might be a little bit much. So we're going to take one small bundle of the orange. We'll do the same thing. We'll twist it, comb it out, and then we'll set it in our standard hair stacker. Like that. Set that aside. Now I'm doing 2 things here. I'm kind of playing around doing a multicolored wing, which is kind of cool, but I am going to tie this in a different technique. So regardless what color your hair is, it won't matter too much. Now I'll take the tips of the hair, a twist, and pull this comb out. So we got the hair nice and clean. Now one thing, and I'd say Nan will probably agree, I think she got this comb. But the little Stompo plastic one's great. I use this one for years, and the little Velcro thing is awesome. But this metal CNF, it's just one of those things, like it's a perfect present for someone, because who's going to spend $30 on a little tiny metal comb? I don't know how much it is, but it does clean the hair a little bit better. So we're going to give this a little bit rough stack. We're going to pull this out. I want to see how much we've got in here. Now this might be a little bit much, so I'm just kind of rolling. I'm rolling. You see on Instagram, you see I've got red and done colored elk hair in here. Just rolling it around. We'll pull out some of it because I might have a little much. That feels better. Look, make sure I don't have any broken tips. And for this one, I'm going to size up my stacker because this is a little bit of a bigger stack.
You're going to upsize your stacker.
I'll upsize it. So with one fly, virtually, I just justified buying 3 hair stackers. Well, on the last fly and this fly. But this mid stacker is what I use the vast majority of the time because I don't tie a whole lot of size 10s or huge flies.
Remember the time that you forgot your stacker and I made one for you?
I know. Out of a Tylenol bottle? Or what was it?
It was like some kind of like a pill bottle or something.
Tylenol bottle? Pill bottle?
No, we tried that, and then it was like a.
It was that we dumped out them Oxycontins, didn't we, honey? Them Oxys. You got ticked because I got rid of them Oxys and yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so we got our hair lined up here, and we're doing the exact same thing. So I'm just going to pull it out, but we're going to do different this time. Is we're not going to trim it, so not beforehand anyway. So we're going to tighten up our thread to where it's a little bit looser, and I'm going to set it right where I want it. So one of the things to watch when you're setting your wing. Don't set it like this. It's going to go up like that normally. Not a big deal. And don't worry about, see, I'll just push the underwing down. We'll fix it. Set it straight in like this. Just push back, push all that stuff back to where it comes to roughly the back of the hook shank. That's where we want it. And then just grab with the other 2 fingers, grab the whole bundle like this. So I'm pinching tight. I'm pinching with this hand really tight. Did you say OxyClean? Pugness, OxyClean. So we're going to do the same thing. We'll do two wraps. That's one, and we're going to kind of start creasing the elk hair, and do 2, crease a little more, and now we're going to pull it tight. And you see we got that nice little flare. Now that's a little bit big for me for a head, but hey, we're going to trim it. So now we've got this pulled tight. Now I'll let go and I grab about 1/3 of it or less, whatever. And we're going to bring the thread down and right back where it was. Pull tight. Grab another 1/3 of it or so. Down right back where it was. Pull tight. And the last one, pull tight. And then we're just going to grab everything. Make sure we got all that and do a couple wraps there. So now we've got our hair.
Cool.
Completely done. It's like a mohawk, and we're going to make sure we've got enough painted, and we're going to whip finish it. Go and whip finish it first, because if you cut it and then whip finish, you kind of defeat the purpose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't know why I like a 5-turn whip finish. If you want to do a 4-turn, 3-turn, that's fine. Cut that off. So we've got our Elk Hair Caddis virtually done except for the head. So we take it all the butt ends, pull them forward, pull the wing back, butt ends forward. If you cut a little bit of the wing, that's fine. Pull all this like this. Now this is the tricky part. You've got to make, and I haven't done this style in probably 6 months. I didn't practice this one, so hopefully I'll cut it right. Make sure you get the 2 separate. Hold so as you can see it. Hold this stack of the butt ends nice and clean, nice and straight, and we'll just snap it off like that. And see, that's way too, for me, that's way too big. So the nice thing is I used to be able to cut these first time, no problem. And you have a nice little head. And if I would have practiced once or twice, it'd probably be okay. But once you cut once, you're pretty much done. It's really hard to cut again. So I'll try it. That's close. And this is one of those things like it's going to really make that much difference. But so that's the other way to do this type of a head. And if you want to know how not to angle it and not to trim it, that was it. But there we go. So you've got your elk hair head, just one like flat top, kind of at a 45-degree angle. This one did not turn out the best at all. But that's why I've been working and doing the other way that I did the first time, and both of which are going to be really durable. In both cases, I do like to put my glasses back on so I can see it. I do like to put a drop of Sally Hansen there. Any comments, any?
Oh, well, Nan says that she would use those clips on the body to keep it out of the way of the head.
Yep.
Michael says, you gonna make Katie fish that one and even the score?
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Well, she'll catch a foreign fish on it. I get try to. Don't get me started on Katie fishing. She'll wear it out.
Gary gave some good advice. He said to take the metal lice comb that I suggested and just run over it like for a month on your driveway, and then all the burrs that get created will pull out the underfur.
Yeah. Gary, I'm not gonna run this one over with my with anything.
And then someone wanted to ask about your Redimed scissors.
Okay. Do you want to switch it to 3?
Yeah.
So Gary, I did recently picked up this new loon. So if your kids, when they get lice and you've got your Nix lice comb, if you start breaking the teeth on it and wears out, and then you got the metal one that's the Nix, and that's with the fancy lice comb. If you just kind of feel odd, you can get the loon lice comb. So that'll
Loon makes their own lice comb now.
They do. I'm telling you, it really gets in there. But I like it quite a bit.
Get on in there with it.
And actually, this is more the dog comb. But this is another new one. This little dog, it's pretty cool. But as far as the like just buying something, not modifying it, so far, this little CNF comb has been phenomenal. And when I say I didn't modify it, I did put a little bit of piece of Velcro on the side here. Wrap it like the hackle ain't there. Yeah, there you go, Pokeness. Just pretend like the hackle's not there. And also pretend like you're not looking at that fly, because that head looks terrible. So I can't see anyone's comments now, so I'll just.
Well, Ken B said thanks for the great show. He's got to head out, and I told him to be sure he lets us know a good mailing address for him. And the scissors, lots to talk about. Combs. Everybody loves CNF. Gary can't get them right now.
The CNF combs, that's right.
So.
Well, we'll find something else, but I like that one. I don't know. They changed their distribution. I don't know. Katie and I aren't in the ins and outs. We just tie flies. We're not in the. Honey, there's a joke there. We are in the loop. Right, Gary? We're in the loop. Oh.
Well, I thought I might have something from Luke sitting behind me.
How about this?
How about this? This is pretty cool.
See, we're in the loop.
I don't even know what this is. Did Gary send this to us?
Yeah, that's the fly box. You got to open the sides first. There you go.
Ooh, look.
With a lot of Gary's flies in there.
Gary Barnes original. They're lovely. Thanks, Gary.
Obviously, Katie hadn't played with that one yet. I have been.
I didn't know this one was over there. You're hiding it from me.
Yes. So once again, everyone on Instagram, check us out on YouTube. A lot better quality. This one will be posted there as well. For next time we go live, which probably won't be Wednesday night, I would really like to do a review, if we have time to film it, of this new Umpqua tying bag, travel bag that is absolutely phenomenal. We'll have it with us at the beach next week. But please comment on this video. If you have something you'd like to see us tie in a couple weeks, let us know that. If there's something you learned, let us know that. If you'll tie October Caddis, Elk Hair Caddis, an Elk Hair Caddis with an October Caddis variation, and use hashtag Whip Finish Wednesday.
Get crazy with it.
We'll stick you in the pot, your name in the pot, to win this box that will have a fly in every compartment. We're ready to rock and roll. And that should be about it.
Gary said that he said something about banging one out. You banged another one out. Another good one out.
We we're banging tonight. That's for sure. So guys, thank you so much. We absolutely love hanging out with you guys on Wednesday nights. It's so much fun seeing all of our buddies hop on and new people as well. And we're here to answer any questions at all. So if you got anything you'd like to see, if you have any questions on what we tied tonight, please feel free to reach out, because the more you ask, the better we know what we need to do a better job explaining next time. And
thank you again, Beargrass Leather. You guys are the best. Love the super cool keychains that have the fly motif and the fishtail motif. Really cool stuff over at Beargrass Leather. Check them out on Instagram. Check out their website. Thanks for watching, guys. There it is.
That's a terrible one. God, terrible. So guys, thank you so much. We'll see you in a couple weeks, and we look forward to seeing your flies. Bye, guys.